Hello my dudes, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be decorating two skateboard decks with Pokemon. One of them I'm going to be collaging like this with all these cutouts from my Pokemon encyclopedias, and the other one with actual Pokemon cards. We're going to be starting with this Pokemon card board because I have got thousands of these regular Pokemon cards. They're not hollow or anything. They don't have really a lot of extra value, so I really want to use them for something. I'm going to be making a lot of art this year just out of Pokemon cards. It took a really long time to cut all of these out. It actually has 88 Pokemon cards on it, so I'm just trying to cut out as many as I can in all different colors to try to create a design. Okay, here is how we are looking. This has taken a couple of hours. This is the second day of me sitting down and sorting all of these out. I realized as I sort of like approached what I thought was the end that I had started putting them all in the center and then going out, and so the squares didn't really line up with the end of the skateboard. So I added a whole extra row. I feel like the gradient really works. All of the cards on the end will have to be chopped, but I'm really happy with how it looks. I think I'm actually going to spray paint the skateboard though, probably black, just so it's more uniform. I don't really like the look of the wood coming through, so I think I'm going to spray paint it front and back, and then we will start sticking all of these down. This is exactly when I realized that I was actually out of black spray paint. So I just came in with some black acrylic paint. It's gonna stop you from being able to see any of the spaces between any of the cards and having that like wood grain sort of reveal underneath it. So once that was done, I just started gluing down, and I decided to start with this sort of second row on the board and glue them down and try to figure out really where they should be sitting so the rest of the board would look right. So you can see that I've sort of like smudged them around, trying to put them in the right place, and then once I was done, I just went through and did the entire rainbow. This is definitely the longest it's taken to put a board together so far. If you guys have watched some of my older videos, you'll see that I normally make these boards out of comic books. And it can definitely take a couple of days to put that together, but finding 88 Pokemon cards definitely took a lot of time. So once they were all done and completely dried down on that board, I'm just coming around with a pair of scissors. This is probably a good time to let you guys know that both of these boards are for sale. Go check them out on my Instagram. If you're interested, you can buy them through my Instagram. Just send me a DM, and I do ship internationally. I did put a top coat on top of this board as well, just to make it shiny and waterproof. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's start on the second one. Earlier in the video, you would have heard me reference my Pokemon encyclopedias, which is not what they're called. They're these little Pokemon collector's handbooks. I have a couple of these, and they've just been sitting there, and I've been wanting to just make a collage out of all of these Pokemon. There ends up being like thousands of Pokemon in here. So to start, I made a border on this board out of all the little name badges in like a rainbow, because I'm going to make a rainbow gradient on this board as well as the last one. So I glued that border down, and this is actually going to help me to know where to stick all of the Pokemon and to keep all of the colors really uniform. Here is like maybe 75% of the Pokemon I ended up sticking on this board. This one also took a really long time, and this one is also for sale, so let me know if you guys are interested. This took a couple of sessions of just sitting here sticking them all down. I definitely had some like music and podcasts going on in the background, but by the time it was done, the gradient was so satisfying, so it was definitely worth it in the end. Okay, now that that layer is totally finished, I'm gonna chuck just a couple more bigger Pokemon on top, because I just think, you know, I really like this design, but obviously it's a little bit like messy and chaotic, and I think by itself it just needs something on top of it just to bring it all together. So I'm gonna sort of just pop, you know, some little dudes that match the colors behind them to just give it like a top layer. And then I'll pop a top coat on it to make it shiny, and we'll have a look at what it looks like totally finished. And here she is done and in the sun right after I did that top coat. So honestly, she is still a little bit wet, but I was just so excited to be able to show off what she looks like. I had a really good time making these, even though they did take forever. So if you guys would like one in like a different color with different Pokemon, please let me know because I would love to make more. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you love my stuff. Let me know what else I could make with Pokemon cards and tell me what your favorite Pokemon is. Bye!